tossing rocks at your window. Marichat, Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction, Chapter 2. The quiet humming of the car running is the only sound in the silence. Shot isn't talking or explaining anything to her. She's not asking any questions. They sit in slightly worried peace. As Marinette looks out the window, she watches as the scenery slowly changes from the Paris she knows and loves and protects nearly every single night, into the more unknown and new parts of the country. Normally, Marinette doesn't go on car rides. Everywhere she needs to go is within walking distance, or she can just take the subway. So, this drive is quite serene. It's a vast change from the usual loud and slightly uncomfortable rides on public transports. It's also blocking out the heat from the summer's night. Though it's cooler now, she still doesn't like the sticky sweatiness that comes from the temperatures outside. "This is nice," Shot says after a while. She has to agree with him and does so with a small sound. "I've never driven around with a friend before," he admits. Marinette stares at him bug-eyed, and it only succeeds in making him chuckle. His green eyes only leave the road for half a second. "With a friend, God, you're so jumpy," he teases her. Marinette huffs in her seat. I already told you. Dang it. Okay, well, we're gonna have to edit that out. "Excuse me for worrying about the safety of this vehicle," she snarks him. Shot looks at her with a certain look in his eyes that she can't quite figure out. "I already told you. I can drive quite well." "And have you died yet?" he asks with a pointed tone. Marinette scoffs. "Oh, please. Don't tell me that's how you judge safety," she says. Shot lets out an aspirated sigh. "No." He sounds tired of her accusations, and it makes her smirk. That makes him realize that it's all in good fun. And he rolls his eyes at her. "I save lives every day. I think I know how safety works." Marinette snickers again, and they fall into silence once more. This drive is going surprisingly well, and it is quite calming, something that she did not think she was going to feel when she snuck out of her window maybe 45 minutes ago. Sure, the panic of getting caught or her parents checking her room is still definitely there, but it's more of a background feeling than she was really expecting. It's nice to drive in the darkness and quiet. She rather likes the night, as she's finding out. There's something about the lack of cars on the road, the lack of people to watch out the window. She feels so alone and small in a world, while feeling the vast world has so much to offer and so many people to bring into her life. It's a deep thought, but maybe the night just brings it out in her. She has been feeling odd these past couple of days. This drive is clearing her mind, even if she nor he has a single iota of an idea of where they're headed. "You seem pretty lost in thought," Shot comments. Marinette leans away from the window to look at him and smiles. "I am," she admits. "Is it nice?" he asks. He flips the little lever, and the familiar clicking noise she'll hear every once in a while is on again. She stares at the dashboard in curiosity. "Yeah," Marinette replies. "What are you doing? Like, with the lever? And why does it keep making noises?" Shot Noir laughs. "Nice to hear. I'm signaling." Her expression begs for more of an answer. "God, you're more curious than me, and I'm the freaking cat here." There are no cars around them, so Marinette takes the risk of lightly hitting Shot's shoulder. Much to her surprise, the car barely shifts. Perhaps he is more of a stable driver than she had initially anticipated. Jokes, he says, his fangs reflecting in the moonlight. When there are other cars around on the road, they don't know what you're gonna do or where you need to go, he explains, which is common sense. So here, this lever, he points to it, either flips down or up on the left or right blinker. When the lights are on, the other people know where you want to go. Left turn, right turn, or changing lanes. It's a safety thing, he finishes. Marinette nods seriously. She's been in cars before, of course, but she just had no idea how to work them. Who knew you had to flick a light at every single turn? So, if there are no cars, you can just do whatever you want because there's no one to hurt? She asks. Chat Noir shrugs. Kinda. The reason you need rules is so that you don't kill anyone, but if there is no one, no rules apply. But I still do it because it's muscle memory, and it's just good practice. You can't just shut off safety until an accident happens, he says in almost a sing-song voice. Marinette hums because he brings up a good point. Chat laughs because he knows that Marinette knows that, and just doesn't want to admit it. And she only knows that because he just told her. See, I bring up good points, even if you don't want to admit it, he says in an annoying voice. Marinette smacks his arm again. You are ridiculous, she says in a fond tone. And yet you're still sitting in the car with me, so who's the real loser here? Chat shoots back. Marinette giggles and rolls her eyes. It's clearly not me, he says in a sing-song voice. She doesn't dignify it with a response. Her eyes continue looking down through the window, watching as the buildings turn into wooden fences, and those little fences turn into nothing but fields of grass. She can see Chat Noir in the reflection, thanks to the dark sky night. He's humming some melody that she doesn't know, and his hands, claws, are tapping on the wheel. Just a question, Chat asks after a couple minutes of driving. Why did you decide to come join me? I mean, your room looked pretty comfortable, so you could have stayed, he says, eyes shifting over to her. Why'd you come with me? Marinette doesn't really know what to tell him. She doesn't know if he'd like her answer. Heck, she doesn't even like the answer herself. Swallowing thickly, she looks down at her lap and twists her hands around. Chat Noir doesn't press her to talk. He allows her to take any time, and perhaps not to give an answer at all. She appreciates it, and it gives her the courage to tell him. Marinette takes a deep breath, getting ready to tell something she's never told another soul in her life. God, she's about to bare her soul for him, and it's kind of scary, but it's Chat Noir, and she feels safe with him. I just felt like I needed to, she admits, I needed to get out of my room and do something a little crazy and something a little dumb, but really fun. Marinette looks up and sees Chat Noir, though his eyes never leave the road, much to her comfort, and he is smiling softly. I've been gosh, how do I even explain this? She gives a breathless laugh. I've been in this weird half state the past couple of weeks. It's like I'm not even doing anything with my life, and yet it's still happening, Marinette says. Her life is consumed with being Ladybug. It's a simple truth she knows and has to find a way to deal with. Every moment she's not out fighting is a moment she's in her room, drawing and sketching and wishing for something that she isn't totally sure of. It's not even like living her own life anymore. It's always about everyone else. And God, is it hard. As Ladybug, she has to put her life on the line every single day, every single morning and night. And she just needs to protect those who can't do it for themselves. And yes, it's great work, and yes, she's proud of being chosen to do it, but now it's all she does. Her life isn't even her own anymore. It's just about everyone else and doing things for them. Marinette doesn't even remember the last time she got to hang out with a friend with no worries or no cutting it short for a fight. Her real life has been fading away to almost nothing thanks to being Ladybug. Honestly, she may be a little bitter about it all. It's selfish, and she knows it, but some days she just wants to throw her Miraculous off a bridge and regain her own life again. It's not the pressure that's hard about being Ladybug. It's the lack of living that is hard. It's the fact that her civilian life is now pushed to the side, and the line between the two of them, her duty as a protector and the wants of an average, normal teenage girl, is now blurred together, so much so she has no idea if the line even exists anymore. And you came, throwing rocks at my window and breaking me out of whatever trance I was in, Marinette says with a little smile. And you offered this adventure to no one else at all, but with no idea at all, but just to go on with it. And then when I jumped out, all I could think about was how alive I finally felt. I don't know, but nothing else has made me feel like that in such a long time, she admits. Shot lets out a deep breath. Well, I'm glad I could do that for you, Shot says, even though his voice is soft. Everything around them is quiet, and it's not hard to hear. Marinette squeezes a smile and looks away from him, suddenly feeling shy. I do want to say thank you for coming with me. I'd be quite lonely if you weren't here, he says. Marinette laughs a bit. I can tell, she jokes. Chat Noir doesn't refute it, but he smiles. The meadow is nice. It's really nice. The breeze is cool on her skin, and Chat Noir is sitting next to her, his hair occasionally brushing across her legs. All the way here, they talked and confessed things she'd never told anyone before, and it didn't sound like he'd ever voiced them either. Something about him makes her spill. Spill all of her worries, spill all of her hardships, spill everything she's ever tried to hide. It's nice and comfortable, and it's vulnerable for the both of them. It's hard, he admits with a sigh. I mean, I've loved her for 4 years. How do you just stop loving someone? Marinette nods in agreement. I don't know if I want to stop, or I just think I should. No, wait. I know I should, but there's just a little part of me that doesn't want to give her up. It'd be better if I just got over with it, though. It's not like something could happen. It's slightly awkward considering the fact that he's the girl he's lamenting about, but at the same time, she's confessing everything about Adrian, and hearing about someone else's strong feelings for a person is just as awkward. They're on a level playing field, more or less. I hear you, Marinette sighs. I think I spent so much time building up who he'll be when he loves me, I forget to see the boy I fell in love with in the present. She buries her face in her knees where her legs are pulled up into her chest. He's great. He just doesn't like me, and I don't think he ever will. That's dumb, Chat says, and it just feels so sudden it suddenly becomes hilarious. Marinette's laughter rings through the air. Okay, she giggles. Chat Noir looks at her and shrugs. I mean, it's dumb that he doesn't like you that way. He sounds far away and lost in thought, and she wants to ask what's running through his mind, but he speaks before she's had the chance. Maybe he should think about it, he mutters. I could say the same for you, she snorts, looking up at the sky. Marinette wonders, Why can't she love Chat Noir the way he loves her? For so long it was because of Adrian, but Adrian is soon going to be in the past. What's stopping her then? She's known, at least in the back of her mind for years now, that if it wasn't for Adrian Agreste, she would have fallen in love with Chat Noir so long ago. She should give you a chance. I wouldn't say no, Chat jokes. Marinette laughs. She sighs and gets up onto her feet, brushing off the grass from her legs. Come on, it's like... She checks her phone. We have 6 hours till sunrise. Maybe we can keep going before I have to go home, she says. In no way does she want to get in trouble, but God, she wants to continue on this adventure because it's getting her heart racing. As you wish, princess, Chat says, getting up and bowing dramatically. She rolls her eyes at him and gets back into the car. You are an awful singer, she finds this out very quickly. Who could mess up such an easy song? Apparently, Chat Noir, no matter how much he tries to deny it. Admittedly, it's hilarious, and she's allowing it to go on for way longer than it should have. Let's just turn up the radio, Chat Noir pouts at her. You'll grow up to love her. You'll grow to love it, he insists. No, I don't think I will, Marinette laughs. He continues to grumble, and it's kind of adorable, and she can't help but pat his head like a real cat. He practically freezes and stares at her blankly for a few seconds. Why did you do that? He asks with a deadpan tone. Marinette shrugs because she doesn't even know why. He huffs, and she just laughs. It's 12 a.m., and this car ride is a little bit too much fun, and Marinette is a little too happy and not sleepy at all.